Hey, good afternoon. In this video, I would like to describe and then demonstrate the lat pullover exercise. This exercise is called the lat pullover. That refers to the latissimus muscle group, which is the main muscle group that this exercise targets. However, this exercise also targets the serratus anterior muscle group, which ties in the scapula or the shoulder blade with the rib cage, as well as the pectoralis muscle group on the front of the chest and the triceps muscles. It also helps to extend the spine that's in the area of the rib cage, the thoracic spine, and it helps to elevate the ribs. And those two things will help with breathing. In order to do this exercise, ideally you would have a bench and a dumbbell and just lay across the bench and do it that way. If you don't have that set up, you can still get by if you have some TheraBand and a chair. So I'll demonstrate both ways using the chair. Now, when you select the chair to use, make sure it's very sturdy and not wobbly or anything like that. And different chairs are going to have different architectures such that it will be either easier or more difficult to attach the TheraBand. In this case, we have a cross piece there that's fairly low, so this should work out fairly decently to do the exercise. And then you would want to pad up the chair lightly if you need to. But basically that goes to the benefit of this in terms of extending and putting the spine in a relatively extended position because of the fact that you're laying on a flat surface. So I'm going to just get into position here. And this is not as ideal as using a bench, but it will still work. So you want to have the bulk of your body just generally horizontal, and then you get the TheraBand and extend your elbows. And you should feel a slight stretch at the start of the movement. And because of the fact that bands increase resistance as they go, there's relatively light resistance at the beginning, and then the resistance increases as you go. And that's true of any band-resisted exercise. And so it's just keeping the elbows relatively straight and then bringing the arms overhead. And that's the movement that's mainly controlled by the latissimus muscle group, hence lat pullover. So that's how you would do this exercise using TheraBand. If you do have access to a dumbbell, you can grab the dumbbell when it's on end. And because of the fact that it's a dumbbell, most of the resistance is at the beginning of the exercise. So actually feel the initial stretch more with the dumbbell. And then it's just a sweep up and overhead. Be very careful not to drop the dumbbell on your face. It's important for safety reasons to not overdo it with this exercise to start out well within your capacity. And you want to keep your elbows relatively close together, and then you can start with your elbows slightly bent when you have the dumbbell, and then extend those. Depending on how you have the TheraBand anchored, that may or may not work. If you bend your elbows too much with the TheraBand at the start, you won't have any resistance. So that's why in this case, I've kept my elbows straight when I've used the TheraBand. So those are the two ways that you can do the lat pullover, even if you don't have access to the gym. Again, ideally, some sort of bench would be ideal, but you can certainly, this is just a video to show that you can certainly improvise with just an ordinary chair to do it with some TheraBand, and certainly if you have dumbbells, that's even better. A kettlebell would also work for this. Again, just make sure that you have a good grip on it and be very careful.